Hello everyone. Today, I have an amazing story for this. Imagine walking into a magnificent ancient cathedral. From the outside, it looks like a single solid block of stone. But once you step through the heavy wooden doors, you realize it is a masterpiece of complex architecture. There are hidden chambers, grand archways, winding stairways, and specific rooms designed for completely different purposes. Your night is exactly like that cathedral. To the untrained eye, sleep looks like a single flat block of nothingness. You close your eyes, you lose consciousness, and you wake up 8 hours later. It feels like a straight line. But under the surface of your skull, your brain is actually taking you on a wild, highly coordinated roller coaster ride through different dimensions of biology. If you want to truly master your energy, your focus, and your health, you have to understand the layout of the land. You have to understand the architecture of the night. Every single night, your brain runs a beautifully scripted play divided into distinct acts. We call these acts sleep stages, and they group together into 90-minute cycles. If you don't complete these cycles, or if you artificially interrupt them, your brain gets stuck in limbo. You can sleep for 9 hours and still wake up feeling like you got hit by a truck because you broke the architecture. Let's trace the journey from the moment your head hits the pillow. The descent into the deep. The moment you turn off the lights and close your eyes, your brain waves begin to shift. Throughout the day, while you are working, driving, and thinking, your brain operates in a fast, chaotic electrical rhythm called beta waves. But as you relax, the speed slows down into alpha waves. This is the twilight zone. You are still awake, but the world is starting to blur at the edges. Suddenly, you drop off the edge into stage 1 sleep. This is the absolute shallowest stage of the ocean. Your brain waves slow down even further into theta waves. This stage is so light that if someone whispers your name, you will snap awake and swear that you weren't even sleeping. It is in this bizarre transition zone that people often experience that sudden, violent jerking sensation like they are falling off a cliff. Your nervous system is misfiring, sending a panic signal down your spine as your muscles relax. Within a few minutes, you slide deeper into stage 2. This is where the real work begins. Your body temperature drops, your heart rate slows down, and your breathing settles into a steady, predictable rhythm. Stage 2 is the cleanup phase. This is where those magical electrical bursts called sleep spindles start firing across your brain, protecting you from outside noises and preparing your mind to store everything you learned during the day. You spend nearly half of your entire night in this stage. It is the steady workhorse of human rest. Then, the floor drops out from under you, and you enter the holy grail of physical recovery, deep sleep, also known as stage 3 and 4, or slow wave sleep. The Valley of the Giants. When you enter deep sleep, your brain waves undergo a radical, almost terrifying transformation. The fast, frantic electrical signals of the day completely vanish. In their place come massive, incredibly slow, synchronized waves of electricity called delta waves. Imagine a stadium filled with 80,000 people. During the day, everyone is shouting, talking, and moving independently. That is your waking brain. But in deep sleep, all 80,000 people suddenly stand up and begin chanting the exact same word at the exact same second, in perfect unison. This deep, slow wave synchronization is the ultimate healing state for the human body. Your brain completely detaches from the outside world. This is the stage where sleepwalking happens, because the conscious mind is completely offline, while the motor cortex is left unsupervised. If someone tries to wake you up during deep sleep, you will feel completely disoriented, clumsy, and aggressive. But look at what your body is doing in this valley. Your brain directs almost all of its blood supply away from the head and sends it straight down into your muscle tissue. A massive flood of human growth hormone surges through your veins. Your cells begin replicating, repairing tears, rebuilding muscle fibers, and fortifying your immune system. Deep sleep is the construction crew that rebuilds the physical castle after a day of wear and tear. If you are an athlete, a weightlifter, or someone recovering from an injury, this is where the magic happens. Without enough deep sleep, your body literally starts to structurally degrade. The dreaming paradox. After about 30 or 40 minutes in the valley of deep sleep, your brain begins to climb back up through the stages. But instead of waking up, you shoot past stage 2 and land straight into a world of complete and utter madness. Welcome to REM sleep, rapid eye movement. The architecture of REM sleep is the exact opposite of deep sleep. In deep sleep, the body is highly active in repairing itself while the brain is quiet. In REM sleep, the body is completely paralyzed while the brain fires up like a Christmas tree. If you look at an EEG monitor of someone in REM sleep, their brain waves look identical to someone who is wide awake, drinking a cup of coffee and solving a math problem. The neurons are firing furiously. The oxygen consumption spikes. The eyes begin darting wildly back and forth underneath the eyelids. Because the brain is so incredibly active, nature had to install a safety switch. Your brainstem sends a chemical signal down your spinal cord that completely paralyzes every single skeletal muscle in your body. You are locked inside your own skin. This is an evolutionary masterpiece of design. If your body weren't paralyzed during REM sleep, you would physically act out your dreams, running through your bedroom, hitting walls, and jumping out of windows. REM sleep is the birthplace of vivid dreams. This is where your emotional brain takes center stage. While deep sleep restores the body, REM sleep restores the mind. This is where emotional trauma is processed, where creativity is unlocked, and where life experiences are integrated into your personality. The tug of war of the night. Now, here is the ultimate secret of the architecture, the part that almost everyone gets wrong. A single sleep cycle lasts about 90 minutes, taking you from light sleep down into deep sleep, back up, and into REM sleep. Then you briefly wake up for a split second, so fast you don't even remember it, and the cycle starts over again. Over an 8-hour night, you go through 4 to 5 of these cycles, but these cycles are not identical. Your brain executes a dramatic shifting strategy as the night progresses. In the first half of the night, from roughly 11 p.m. to 3 a.m., your cycles are heavily dominated by deep, slow-wave sleep. Your brain knows that physical survival depends on body repair, so it front-loads the deep sleep. However, in the second half of the night, from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., the architecture flips. The deep sleep vanishes, and your cycles become overwhelmingly packed with REM sleep and light sleep. Think about what this means for the modern hustle culture. If you usually sleep 8 hours, but tonight you decide to cut your sleep short and get up at 5 a.m. to get a head start on work, you didn't just lose 2 hours of random sleep. Because REM sleep is heavily backloaded in the morning hours, waking up 2 hours early means you might have just sacrificed 60 to 70% of your entire night's REM sleep. You didn't just lose 25% of your time. You completely wiped out your brain's emotional processing and creative capacity for the day. You show up to work physically present but mentally crippled. Respecting the design. When you understand the beautiful, fragile architecture of the night, you realize why taking a sleeping pill or drinking a massive glass of whiskey before bed is a terrible idea. Those substances are sedatives. They knock your conscious mind out, but they do not create sleep. They destroy the architecture. They block you from entering deep sleep and completely erase your REM cycles. You wake up unconscious, but completely unrestored. You cannot force, cheat, or bully your biology into a shorter window. The 90-minute cycles are hard-coded into your genetic blueprint. True power comes from learning how to step out of the way and let the master architect do its job. Protect the full 8 hours, respect the cycles, and stop tearing down the very foundation that keeps your mind and body alive. The cathedral is waiting. It's time to let it rebuild you.